There's many different types of inscriptions, and some are important for the religious context. Others are important for iconography, for naming all types of obscure deities in a cycle of practice, like Lama Gongdu or Longchen Nintik. There's just many different types of painting sets that depict cycles of practices, and it's very difficult to know who all of the figures are without going through a lot of different ritual texts. But if they're written on the front of a painting, then it's very useful, very helpful. But there's also inscriptions that are just plain informative in terms of the name of the painting, sometimes who owns it, which temple does it belong to in a large, if you're in like Ganden Monastery, Sera, Drepung, some of these very big monasteries, or even Samye, then art, both sculpture and painting, can be labeled, inscribed with the name of the temple that owns that object and where it's supposed to live. So another type of inscription which is really very important for art history is historical information, and we're just going to look at six quick examples of that. The first is a very large life-size, almost bigger than life-size painting, portrait painting of Demo Rinpoche, and this demo, it's not entirely clear or accurate in the history books as to which demo. There's a bit of a problem with the incarnations of the demos. But anyway, when the fifth Dalai Lama visited the emperor in China in the 17th century, then this Demo Rinpoche accompanied him. And then he passed away in China. And a painting was made, and on this painting, on the viewer's right side of the painting, then a very long inscription. Well, actually, both sides of the painting have the inscription, composed by the fifth Dalai Lama, calling for the rebirth, the swift rebirth of the Demo Rinpoche. The back of the painting is also completely filled with inscriptions. And again, this is a very, very large painting, life-size, bigger than life-size. Now, the second example is a gold background painting of Sarvavid Vairochana Buddha. And this painting has a very long inscription on the back, composed by the fifth Dalai Lama, again. And it talks about why the painting was made for the funeral of a Mongolian prince. It talks about the style of painting, that it is in the Menri style, which is the sun-like style of Tibetan painting, as opposed to the Khenri style, which he called the moon-like style. So there's a lot of information on the back of that painting. The third painting is Gyurme Dorje, and this is a portrait, and on the back is, again, is an inscription, and then there are also the thumbprints of his half-brother and his son, who were just killed a few years later during a Mongolian attack. Now, the fourth painting is a Padmasambhava, and it is important because the back has information on who commissioned it, the artist, who blessed it, and it was blessed by the 8th Shamar, Pelchen Chuki, and it was also blessed by Taisitu Chuki Jumne. And this was while Shamar Rinpoche and the Karmapa were in East Tibet on their way to China, and then they actually passed away a few months later in China due to smallpox. So a fourth painting is an Aparajita mandala. It has a lot of abrasion, there's damage to it, it's a little bit faded, but on the back it has a very clear inscription that states that it was painted by the 6th Dalai Lama. And so this is very, very important as just a historical document. It's really not well known what is the art of the 6th Dalai Lama, but here we have an example with an inscription on the back. Now, the sixth painting here is of Virupa, and this is an early painting, 13th century, and on the back it states that it was blessed by Sakyapandita. So this is actually taking a painting and placing it within a historical context and a historically important figure. So here we have just 6 paintings with very, very interesting historical information.